Let's talk about finding your perfect matched doula. By now, you know what a doula is, you know what's in their toolkit, you know what they're going to offer you during labor and the prep for labor and after. But not all doulas practice the same way, and just like every family is unique, doulas come with different specialties, approaches, and personalities. So, how do you find the doula who's the perfect match for you? So beyond specialties, here are some qualities that I recommend thinking about when choosing your doula. So personality fit. You're going to be with this person at a very vulnerable situation, and we want this person to be someone that you feel comfortable with, that helps make you calm, they help you feel seen and understood. Do you want someone that's take charge, or do you want someone that's maybe more motherly like? And there's no right answer. It's really what's going to best fit you. Communication style. So some people may prefer a very calm, grounding presence, while others may love someone who's more upbeat and energetic in their support. And then there's training and certification. So while being a doula is not licensed, you don't need to legally have any sort of certification to be a doula, some people may want someone that has gone through training. There's different types of training. DONA is the Doula Organization of North America. That's where I did my training. There's CAPPA, and there's many different types of trainings. So just check in if that's important to you of what kind of training and certification they have. Next is experience. Ask about the types of births or postpartum situations they've supported. Have they worked at the hospital or birth center that you're going to give birth at? Or maybe they're just doing home births. But you can also talk about how many births they've done. Some people, when I was starting out as a doula, really were supportive that I was just excited to get in there and learn. And then others wanted someone that had a lot of births under their belt. There's no right or wrong. There's really what you feel best with. Here are some practical tips for hiring. Okay, so now you've narrowed it down. Maybe you asked friends, maybe you asked your care provider, you've got a big list of doulas, you've looked at their websites, you've read some reviews, so now you've narrowed it down. I'd recommend setting up interviews. I call these meet and greets. Most doulas are gonna offer free consultations. So my suggestion is have a list of questions that you want answered well ahead of time. And this may sound a little sneaky, but also have the answers that you really want to hear. So back in the days when I was hiring a midwife for my own birth, there was one question I asked about postpartum hemorrhage, because that was something that was a little overwhelming to me. And I had an answer that I knew how I needed them to answer to feel safe. And when one midwife answered completely the opposite, I was like, wrong person. So have that list of questions so that when you're having them share with you, you can start to see, all right, are they answering how I need to feel safe and supported? And what kind of vibe do you get from them? Also discuss fees, depending on where you are, how long the doula has been working as a doula, the services they provide. That's going to tell you a lot about the wide range of costs that you might expect to see. And don't be afraid to ask about a payment plan. You can also ask what happens if they miss the birth. So make sure you get that fee question and the schedule in which you expect them to be paid well ahead of time. Also review the contract. Make sure you understand what's included. How many prenatal visits do you get? When are they on call? Back when I was a practicing doula, I would start to be on call at 37 weeks, all the way until they gave birth. I know some doulas start at 38 weeks. And then check in with backup. I always had a backup, especially if I knew I was clustering births together or if I had to go away. I wanted that backup to have already talked to the birthing person as well as had my notes from our prenatal visits. You can also review in the contract about postpartum check-ins. How often are they coming? How do they check in with you? When do you expect that check-in to start to fade? Remember, this is someone you'll be leaning on during one of the most intimate and vulnerable moments in your life. Trust your gut. So I guess the takeaway is finding the right doula is really about alignment. Their skills, their approach, and their presence matching what you need. The right fit can make a huge difference in how support can feel no matter what your birth and postpartum journey looks like. And just because one person loved a doula, maybe your best friend swore by that person, doesn't mean it's right for you. Again, it's going to go back to that idea of trusting your gut, something that we want to establish during pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. All right, check back next week, and we're going to talk about why a doula isn't a luxury. It's a bit of a game changer. All right, see you then.